Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 5 on WBON Channel 9, where every local story starts here. I'm Gwendolyn Morton. Well, will a wet, dry vote go to the ballot? We'll have information on how you can let your voice be heard. And an explosion last night leads to an investigation. We have all the details, including video of that fire that led from the explosion. But first, in our WBON TV big lead story of the day, the Kentucky State Police Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division, along with the Lexington Police Department, were actively pursuing a vehicle on I-75 South in Fayette County. Post 7 troopers joined the pursuit as it entered Madison County just past the 99-mile marker. The pursuit continued on I-75 until the operator exited the 95-mile marker, turning left onto Boonesboro Road, where the vehicle came to a stop near Stone Crest Road in Clark County. Once the vehicle came to a stop, Kentucky State Police contacted George Rogers Clark High School and placed the school on lockdown for the student and faculty safety. Boonesboro Road, along with Winchester Bypass, was also shut down. Officers were able to successfully negotiate a peaceful surrender of the operator without incident. That operator has been identified as Hannah Prosser, a 34-year-old female from Lexington. She was taken into custody and transported by the Lexington Police Department off to a local hospital for psychological evaluation. Prosser is charged with the following: speeding, reckless driving, fleeing or evading police, and wanton endangerment. The investigation remains ongoing by CVE Officer Puckett. Assisting at the scene were KSP Post 7 troopers, Clark County Sheriff's Office, the Winchester Police Department, and the Lexington Police Department. And of course, as we get more details about that story, we're going to have them right here on WBON Channel 9. Well, shortly before 10 Wednesday night, Richmond firefighters and emergency personnel responded to reports of a fire on Estill Avenue right off Linden Street. Unofficial reports say that a white F-150 truck was ablaze inside of a fenced area. Residents of the area also reported hearing a loud explosions prior to that fire. The cause of the fire remains under investigation and no injuries were reported. However, as we get more details, you're going to get them right here on Channel 9. Well, the cities of Berea and Richmond have several popular establishments that serve alcohol. However, the rest of Madison County is dry as it pertains to the sale of alcohol. WBON TV spoke with one local business owner who is on a mission to make a change to local law that could mean a lot more than just getting served beer at your favorite restaurant.
If you live in the city limits of Richmond, you might not be aware that the sale of alcohol is not permitted through the entire county. Local business owner Wes Brown has made it his priority to change that in the upcoming general election in November. Brown is the co-owner of Apollo's Pizza, which has multiple locations throughout Madison County.
Restaurants like our restaurant that are really not as viable as they could be will have a better chance to be successful. If this doesn't pass, there's a really good chance that the Little Sac location of Apollo will just let go.
It's not just Apollo's Pizza that has endured setbacks from the county's wet-dry law. According to Brown, potential partnerships with businesses have fallen through due to the county's current wet-dry status being cited as a primary factor.
I'm sure people really understand how little of Madison County is actually wet. It's a pretty small percentage of the county. And even in Berea, where they're moist, there's certain businesses and certain things that won't come in. Kroger specifically walked away from Berea when they found out they weren't wet.
Brown also believes that with going wet, it will help boost Madison County's economy.
Presumably, you'll see more money coming into county revenues and also city revenues. Because if we increase tourism, that doesn't just help the dry areas. That helps Richmond City. Even though Richmond City is already wet, if you suddenly have more tourists coming to Madison County and you have more tourists staying in Madison County, that's going to flow into Richmond City as well. So if you're a Richmond City voter and there's more revenue and there's a greater tax base and there's more jobs and there's more everything here, that benefits you too. So the idea that this doesn't affect Richmond City folks is a kind of a simplistic thing because you're not seeing it all the way.
If you are a registered voter in Madison County and interested in making the county wet, there is still time to sign the petition for the new amendment to be presented on the upcoming general election ballot.
To get this on the ballot in May, we need 7,590 valid signatures. That number was determined by the number of voters in the November general election. We right now have close to 9,000 signatures, but that's not enough. We've got to have more than that. Even if we get to 9,000, that margin isn't big enough to guarantee that we have enough valid signatures to put on the ballot, and we can't take a chance with it. We need to blow way past these numbers. We need to put up such a significant number that it guarantees that there's enough valid signatures that this goes on the ballot. We can't miss. So we're going to keep our, foot on the pedal all the way through.
To sign the petition, you can go online at alcoholvote.com. Then click the link on the website to place your signature. You can also go to any Apollo Pizza in Madison County and sign the petition there. I'm Lindsay Reed with WBON TV, and stay tuned for more news coverage.
Thanks, Lindsay, for that story. Well, some new noises are heading to the Madison County area. According to the Madison County EMA CSEP, new alarm testing is scheduled to begin on January 30th and will conclude February the 3rd. WBON has acquired a sample of that new noise. Listen here. EMA CSEP does want to remind residents that this is just testing and does not indicate an actual emergency. If you have any questions or concerns regarding this or any other services, you can contact the EMA CSEP at themadisoncounty.ky.us. Well, the city of Richmond has a new waste service provider. Richmond selected Rumpke Waste and Recycling as its new waste service provider. Transition to the new service will take place in 2 phases. Starting March the 1st, Rumpke will provide all Richmond businesses with waste collection service. Residential service will not begin until January the 1st, 2024. Rumpke will begin delivering commercial containers in early February and continue deliveries throughout the month. Businesses will receive a mailer from Rumpke with details about service guidelines and billing procedures in the coming weeks. And with that, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We've got lots more news. We've got weather and, of course, sports still to come right here live at 5.
At Fast Flow Plumbing, you aren't sending your money to Texas and Florida to the big corporate plumbing companies. We're local, and that allows us to invest in the latest technologies like Permaliner for no-dig sewer replacements, which we warranty for 20 years. Fast Flow is the future of plumbing. Don't destroy your landscaping and finished basement because a plumber tells you he has to replace your sewer. Keep your home beautiful. Call a local pro at Fast Flow.
If you've dreamed of a job where you can help keep your family and community safe while planning for the future, then you need to check out the Fayette County Detention Center.
We're starting out $20 an hour. We have 8 paid holidays, 120 hours of sick time and vacation time a year. When you work a holiday, you actually make double pay. Our retirement is at 25 years. If you start out at 21, you'll be fully retired at 46, 25, fully retired at 50. Fayette County Detention Center is an amazing place to work.
Hi there, I'm Alan Feldhouse Jr., head basketball coach at Madison Central High School. Here at MCHS, we have built a winning team. I'd like to tell you about another local winning team, family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. They specialize in roofing, general construction, and home maintenance services. Just like on the court, you need a team that will work together to get the job done, and that's exactly what BRC does. Give them a call at 859-353-1133. Road Tribe.
Now is the perfect time to apply for seasonal positions with the Richmond Parks and Recreation Department. Positions include Adventure Falls manager and workers, Paradise Cove managers and workers for the front desk and concessions, and seasonal maintenance. Positions are also available for lifeguarding. To apply for lifeguard positions, email hiring@bluegrasspools.com. For all other positions, visit richmond.ky.us or find Parks and Rec on social media at Richmond KY Parks.
Davis & Powell Funeral Home in Berea. From our attention to detail, a diverse staff, and the best aftercare in the business, there's no better local choice to take care of your family in a difficult time than Davis & Powell. Call in to discuss pre-planning and preparations so there'll be no additional burden on your family. Davis & Powell Funeral Home in Berea. For additional information, check them out at davisandpowellfuneralhome.com. Davis & Powell Funeral Home, always going the extra mile.
Man Chrysler in Richmond is Truck Town, USA. New trucks, used trucks, little trucks, big trucks, short trucks, long trucks. Hey, that's not a truck. Work trucks and fancy trucks. Who says you can't get a truck? Come on down to Man Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Richmond for your best deal today. Truck Town, USA.
Welcome back to Live at 5. A much cooler day. Even saw a few flurries out here in the area. We've got meteorologist Todd Nelson in with the forecast.
Thanks, Gwendolyn, and welcome back to the Bluegrass Restoration and Construction Weather Center. And this is what some of us woke up to this morning. Areas of snow pushing through the Commonwealth and accumulating a little bit and enough to cause some slick roadways out there. We may have a few more of those light snow showers yet through the evening, but all of this in association with the same storm that brought severe weather across the Gulf Coast states. We had some gusty winds yesterday, and then areas of heavy snow from the midsection of the nation into the northern Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes. But for us tonight, we'll hang out with the clouds. Again, maybe a scattered snow shower here and there. Temperatures falling through the lower 30s and into the 20s by early tomorrow morning. Here's a look at the winds overnight tonight. Staying breezy, no question, with a few lingering flurries. The winds will be picking up through the day tomorrow as that sun pops out. And then we'll see additional rainfall on Sunday and more precipitation into next week, which could even fall in the form of snow. But how about that? Lexington, almost 5.5 inches of liquid this month, nearly 2 3/4 of an inch above average. So some spots around the Commonwealth have really seen a lot of precip to start this new year. And again, next week we could be dealing with some snowfall. We'll continue to monitor that. But tonight, some scattered snow showers, maybe a brief coating of snow, which again could slicken up the roadways here and there. And be advised that tomorrow morning, surfaces out there will be sub-freezing, so it could be slippery in some spots. 25 degrees in the morning. Again, the winds will be picking up through the day out of the southwest, up to 20, maybe 30-mile-per-hour winds, making it feel more like the teens in the morning. And then those daytime highs tomorrow will be climbing into the mid-40s with more sunshine, especially into the afternoon. So Friday will be a little bit closer to average, but above average on Saturday. Still breezy. Areas of showers on Sunday, Gwendolyn, and we'll watch that rain-snow mix possible by the middle part of next week.
Todd, and for weather all the time, you can find it on Channel 9 online. Check out our Facebook page and WBONTV.com. Well, the Kentucky All-A Classic is well underway at Alumni Coliseum here in Richmond. Many travelers are visiting Richmond now through Sunday afternoon, so make sure you're driving carefully. Maybe plan for a slightly longer commute on the bypass, especially around the Coliseum, and make sure you're watching out for pedestrians when passing by the campus. And then maybe, hey, stop and check out a game while you're there too. Well, one of Richmond's local favorites will be expanding into Berea. Nuevo Vallarta, no doubt a staple for most Richmond residents, is excited to announce their expansion into the Berea area. Gustavo Murillo, owner of Nuevo Vallarta, explained that the success of Nuevo Vallarta in Richmond has given him confidence in the new expansion. He plans to focus on business as usual and bring the same Richmond classics that people know and love to Berea. The new location is set to be completely purchased in the coming weeks, and renovation will be starting right away. The new location will be on Cooper's Drive. That's the old Hits barbecue location. Murillo explained that he has loved seeing such a large population in Richmond and can't wait to see what comes with that new expansion. Well, a lockdown was initiated earlier today at the Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital due to reports of a potentially dangerous person on the premise. A hospital spokesperson said that security alert had been issued for the entire campus, deploying processes to ensure the safety of both the patients and staff. The lockdown at the hospital was lifted after authorities assessed that the campus was safe. The investigation is being conducted by the Somerset Police Department. Laurel County deputies arrested a man Tuesday after a call of a burglary in progress. According to the Laurel County Sheriff's Office, deputies were dispatched to investigate a possible ongoing burglary near Old Way Road east of London. When deputies arrived, they discovered people who identified themselves as the homeowner's children. When the family members arrived, a man fired multiple gunshots out the back door of the house. Deputies ordered everyone inside the house to leave, and then the homeowner came out telling deputies that a man inside was armed with multiple firearms, possibly wanted on a warrant. According to the officers, deputies were unable to get the man to leave the house. So when they entered the house, they discovered a shotgun just inside the front door. The deputy discovered 42-year-old Bryant Roden in a closet hiding under a pile of clothes while searching the house. The officer stated that they were unable to get Roden to leave the closet and that the scuffle ensued before Roden was taken into custody. Roden of London was charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, first-degree fleeing or evading police on foot, menacing, resisting arrest, and many other charges. He was transported to the Laurel County Detention Center. Well, 34-year-old Joseph Reed was arrested Monday, January 23rd for trafficking a controlled substance after police responded to a Richmond hotel regarding a possible overdose. When police arrived at the scene, Reed appeared to be lying on the floor with agonal breathing. The police officer on scene began to give Reed sternal rubs and stated that Reed became combative and began rolling around on the floor. While waiting for the EMS, the police officers observed drug paraphernalia in a plastic bag on the bed. Once EMS arrived and began working on Reed, police located a large amount of needles on a table. Police also located a container containing what appeared to be heroin. The suspect was taken into custody and lodged in the Madison County Detention Center. With that, we're going to take another quick break. Don't go anywhere. We've got sports coming up right here on Live at 5.
The City of Richmond Stormwater Management Program works to protect our waterways from pollution and to help citizens with stormwater runoff and flooding. Stormwater is the rain and snow that runs off rooftops, roads, sidewalks, and other surfaces that cannot absorb water, which affects water quality. The City of Richmond Stormwater Management Program is dedicated to helping its citizens understand what stormwater is and its impacts on our watersheds and waterways. For more info, visit buildrichmondky.com and click on the Stormwater tab.
Batteries Unlimited in Richmond can energize you when your batteries fade out. They can also cut and make most home and automobile keys, replace and program key fobs, and make copies of your house keys. Plus, cell phone screen repair. Bring in your Apple or Samsung today. We are your home for all batteries. Go see Chris at Batteries Unlimited, Commercial Drive in Richmond.
Granite, marble, and quartz for any surface. Make a lifetime commitment you won't regret.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer, and in the spring of 1992, Bishop's Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, We have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cupcadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop's Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 Northwest Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see ya.
If you love local sports, you'll love the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Join your hosts Samantha Burford and Michael Watkins as they break down, recap, and preview sports news in our area. Each Monday night from 6 to 7 on WBON TV Channel 9 and on Y92.5, V99.3, and CBS Sports Radio 103.5. The Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show is also brought to you by the Richmond Raceway, Bluegrass Restoration and Construction, the Law Office of Patrick O'Neill, Nuevo Vallarta, and Bishop's Small Engine Repair.
Choose Mercy Health, Markham and Wallace Hospital for your health care. Consider having your preventative care such as a CT lung screening, a mammogram, or a colonoscopy at Markham and Wallace Hospital. You can feel safe to come to the hospital campus. Following CDC guidelines, our care team is doing everything possible to ensure your safety and well-being. For more information about Markham and Wallace Hospital, call 606-723-2115 or visit mercy.com.
Welcome back to the Live at 5. The next 2 evenings will be jam-packed with high school basketball games for our county teams. Both men's and women's teams will be in action at EKU. With more great sports coverage, here's WBON TV sports anchor Dawson Rule.
With the All-A Classic in full swing, many fans from various schools around the state are watching basketball at EKU. For example, yesterday in the girls' side, Pikeville played Carlisle County. An ordinary game, right? But there was something interesting about these two teams playing, and it was that they were a 7-hour drive apart. Pikeville in eastern Kentucky and Carlisle County in western Kentucky. They met in the middle of the state here in Richmond to play basketball. Also in the All-A Classic, one of our area teams played yesterday morning and lost. But at the same time, I didn't have stats for the game. Now I do, so let's look at those stats really quickly for the Berea Lady Pirates, who lost 30-25 to Owen County. The highest scorer for Berea only had 10 points, and that was Abigail Beard. Closely followed by Lauren Stepp with 8. Surprisingly, Maddie King was held scoreless, but other teammates, like Sophie Brewer, added in 6 points. With the loss, Berea is set now to play Southern tomorrow night. This game will be exciting for the people of Berea to see a crosstown matchup. Sticking on the basketball side still, the girls at the top of the 11th region have a home game against Bryant Station tomorrow night. Who is that? Well, it's Madison Central, and they'll tip off against them at 7:30 and will be expected to win, as the Lady Defenders of Bryant Station have had an average year. Madison Central sits at 15-4, but Franklin County's on their tail in the RPI standings at 16-4. Frederick Douglass, Greg Crossing, Southern, and Berea are all in the race for first as well. I recently teased this game, so today I'm finally going to reveal it. Tomorrow the sports crew will be headed to Madison Central High School to stream their big game against Trinity. The Shamrocks come in at 14-6, and they'll give the Indians all they can handle. I expect it to be a close game all the way till the end. Also on the boys' side, Model travels to Jackson City tonight in a road game where I think they can win. Jackson City's 4-15 and Model's 7-11, so wins-wise, I've got the Patriots. They also have another big game on the road tomorrow, which is also winnable, but we'll get to that tomorrow. I was also looking at some stats earlier today, and we had some players involved. Jay Rhodes is 34th in points scored per game at 21.9 this season, and Jalen Davis is 49th at 21.1 a game. Davis is also shooting 83.9% from the free throw line this year, which is 22nd in the state. Now moving on to the collegiate level, EKU tonight starts a quick 2-game series against Bellarmine. EKU will be at Bellarmine tonight, and then on Saturday, Bellarmine comes back to EKU. This series was split last year, with EKU winning at home and losing on the road. Now EKU needs to try and win both games this weekend to secure a nice spot in the ASUN rankings, as February is right around the corner and conference play will be getting very competitive. Also, let's stop and take a moment to remember the legendary Kobe Bryant. Today marks 3 years since we lost the storied basketball player that millions loved worldwide. Rest easy, Black Mamba. That's all for sports today. I hope you all enjoyed, and tomorrow I will wrap up a big week of sports and preview all the important games happening over the weekend.
Thanks, Dawson, for that sports update. We're going to take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. Lots more news right here on WBON TV Channel 9.
WBON TV 9 is proud to be your source for local news, local weather, and local sports. At WBON TV 9, we pride ourselves on being the local leader when something happens in our area. Channel 9 reaches nearly 900,000 people with our over-the-air coverage. WBON TV 9 is also the #1 source you turn to locally for news on Facebook and WBONTV.com. Now you can enjoy all the local news, weather, and sports each weekday afternoon. Join us each weekday from 5 to 5:30 for the Live at 5 newscast. It's streaming on the WBON TV Facebook page, YouTube channel, Roku channel, and our live player on WBONTV.com. And of course on Richmond's first TV channel. Available on Spectrum Channel 712, Urban Community Television, PRTC Cable, and Channel 9.1 over the air. WBON TV, where every local story starts here.
To some, it's just a boat. But to Jim, it's his escape from meetings, traffic, and the grind of daily life. He may not catch any keepers, but he wouldn't trade his day on the lake for anything in the world. That's why his boat is insured by Kentucky Farm Bureau. But it's not just Kentucky's Farm Bureau. It's Jim's Recharge the Battery Farm Bureau. My Farm Bureau.
David Mayo, John Rader, and Chris Hornsby with Kentucky Farm Bureau.
Support local and get your vehicle running at its peak performance with CT Diesel Performance off exit 97 in Richmond. Chris Thorne and his staff specialize in diesel performance and repair that will service any vehicle, big or small, with oil changes, brakes, tires, alignments, and more. Broke down and need a tow? Well, call CT Diesel at 859-699-8712. Like them on Facebook to enter a weekly drawing for a free oil change. CT Diesel Performance off exit 97 in Richmond.
It's the common thread that ties us together, making life better for everyone. At CVNB, that means better banking, better accounts and lending, better experiences, better schools and better communities. Better. It's what ties us together. CVNB. Bank better.
At WBON TV 9, you can count on our weather team to keep you up to date with all the latest developments, watches, and warnings.
We're here for you night and day, 24/7, no matter what the weather brings.
WBON TV 9 and our media partner 100.7 The Coyote are dedicated to you. That's why we say when the weather turns extraordinary, so does our coverage.
Get your forecast each weekday during the Live at 5 newscast on WBON TV 9, where every local story starts here.
Welcome back to Live at 5 on WBON Channel 9. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, former Kentucky State Police Lieutenant Colonel Michael Crawford was sentenced to 8 months in prison on Wednesday. Crawford was convicted of conspiracy to misappropriate KSP weapons by a federal jury in August. Crawford of Georgetown allegedly conspired with John Goebel, the former coroner of Scott County, and KSP armorer Mitch Harris in 2016 to unlawfully misappropriate 21 firearms belonging to the Kentucky State Police, including 19 shotguns and 2 M1A rifles. Crawford's co-defendant, John Goebel, previously pleaded guilty to a related conspiracy between the same individuals to misappropriate 187 cases of KSP ammunition valued at approximately $40,000, which were stored in the basement of Goebel's office, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. A Lexington serial arson suspect has changed his plea. According to police, Robert Stevens set a dozen fires in 2017 and 18. All were at residences on Goodloe and Warnock Streets in Lexington East End, close to Stevens' home. 2 of those fires were severe and they completely destroyed the homes involved. Stevens had initially pled not guilty. This morning, Stevens changed his plea to guilty but mentally ill. His sentencing is scheduled for March the 2nd. He could face up to 10 years in prison. According to Kentucky State Police, a man was discovered dead in a river in Pikeville yesterday. A trooper was conducting a traffic stop on US 23 when the driver fled and entered the Lavisa Fork River. Local fire and rescue personnel responded to the scene in an attempt to find the suspect, Daryl Gooseland. 51 was discovered dead in the water during that search. His remains were transported to Frankfort for an autopsy. The investigation is ongoing. Thanks so much for joining us here today, live at 5. Have a wonderful afternoon. Stay warm. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.